Okay, guys, welcome back to Court 2 in the late afternoon game. Australian under 23 women's against the Colombian under 23 women's. The Colombians, the defending champions of the under 23 division, winning in Spain 2 years ago. I'm Parko, and with me here in the commentary box, I've got Amar Sarmiento. How are you today, Amar?
Hey Stu, it's good to be here, commentating some of the games gonna happen. This seems to be it's gonna be a very interesting game. Defending champions in Australia, so we'll see how it goes.
We definitely will, my friend. And even though you're living in Australia these days, and you have been for a couple of years, you're actually originally from Colombia. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm originally Colombian. I lived for around 11 years in Spain, in Europe around, and now I've been living in Sydney for about almost 2 years now. So
that's
yeah.
Awesome, mate. And I know the Australians have been really happy you've been hanging out with us in Australia and around Sydney and New South Wales. It's been really cool. And a quick shout out to Jane Gilligan, who's hanging out there in Sydney at the moment. Is there anyone back home in Colombia you want to say g'day to before we kick this game off here, Omar?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna say hi. I'm gonna switch suddenly sometimes in Spanish. So un saludo muy grande a todos los amigos de hockey en Colombia, a la gente de Medellín, obviamente a mi club en Bogotá, a todos los Titanes, a la gente, a los amigos en Copacabana, a toda la gente del Valle, a todos los amigos, un gran saludo.
That's awesome, mate. And I know that's all the Colombian people over there in Medellin, in Bogota and Calais, the Galapagos, the Cardumen, the people from Copacabana, Aletas, all the clubs over there will be really excited to be watching this game. And I'd like to say good day to all of our friends and family that are hanging out in Colombia, Medellin, Bogota, Calais, and from all around the world that are tuning into this amazing game that's about to kick off as we count down with 40 seconds to go. I know both Australia and Colombia are going to be very keen to take this game by the horns and really establish their dominance on this game early. It's going to be very interesting to see which game plan is the dominant game plan as we count down inside of 30 seconds now until this game kicks off. What do you reckon's going through the heads of the Colombian ladies at the moment, Omar?
I think they have their plan pretty clear, so let's see what they're going to do. Sí, vamos a ver, va a ser un partido muy interesante. Yo creo que las colombianas tienen un plan muy sólido contra Australia. Vamos a ver qué pasa y comienza el partido.
So off we go as the game kicks off. You can see the Colombians going hard at the puck there. So are the Australian ladies in a good tight formation. The Australian ladies taking the early advantage straight through the Colombian structure. The referees have called an advantage puck, and it's going to go against the Australian ladies, and the advantage puck is going to be the Colombian puck here, Omar.
Sí, vamos a ver ahora qué tipo de falta sacan las colombianas. Yo creo que van a intentar penetrar por el centro, donde ellas son muy fuertes, se acompañan muy bien. Sale una, entrega atrás a intentar buscando ayuda. La australiana intercepta, salen por el centro. Vamos a ver si intentan abrir el juego las colombianas. Lo hacen hacia la banda y se va el juego hacia la banda Stuart.
So off we go. The Australians again putting a bit of attacking pressure on the Colombian defence as the referee calls an infringement. The Australians driving that puck very close to the back wall, and again, unfortunately, it's been a stick infringement or a chopping foul, as us Australians like to call it. The referees are going to push the Aussies back, and the Colombians are going to have a free puck right in front of their sub-bench there, Omar.
Vamos a ver cómo salen las colombianas aquí. Salen en compañía. Parece que la sacan hacia el centro. No creo que les interese mucho irse al muro en este momento. Las australianas logran romper, va muy rápidas a la esquina. Vamos a ver si logran reciclar el disco hacia el centro. Lo hace. Vamos a ver qué logra hacer. Entra una de las defensas y la colombiana logra defender en la esquina muy bien.
The Aussie ladies putting the Colombians under a lot of pressure in the first couple of minutes of this game. The Colombians soaking up that pressure in the defence as the Australians drive it all the way to the corner of the tray along the back wall. There's a lot of numbers on the bottom. The Colombians are in there as well, and it's really hard to tell where that puck is going to go. It is sliding towards the tray. You see the puck pop out there as the Colombians manage to just defend it and bring it back into a much safer area on the corner there, Omar.
mucha presión de las australianas en este comienzo del partido. Ahora intentan hacer un cambio de banda, un cambio de frente, a ver si logran sacar. Interceptado por la delantera colombiana y hace una escapada. Vamos a ver hasta dónde es capaz de llegar. Baja la defensa. Vamos a ver si es capaz de llegar. Sigue en la apnea impresionante de la colombiana. Llega la ayuda por detrás. Vamos a ver si logran capitalizar este gol y entra a la portería. Vamos a ver si el referee lo da. Parece que está bien y es gol de Colombia, Stuart.
Yeah, the Colombians, number 12 for Colombia there, scoring that goal, which was Isabel Higuita, putting that goal in and on a massive swim. I don't think it was Isabel that went for the swim. It was one of the other Colombian ladies that basically went for a full court swim on a massive counter-attack. The Australians, unfortunately, just trying to bring that puck around and into the centre channel, got intercepted in that backward movement, and then were basically caught square. And you can see there, the Colombian number, waiting for her number to show, number three, which was Laura Arboleda, went on a huge swim straight down the right-hand side of their attacking court and basically was finished off there very well by the Colombians, Amar.
Sí, impresionante la salida de Laura, muy explosiva en natación y se quedó en una apnea muy larga hasta que fue capaz de entregar a la otra delantera que logró meter el gol. Comenzaron bastante fuerte las australianas, pero las colombianas salieron desde la esquina con mucha potencia y lograron anotar. Vamos a ver, ahí interceptan otro disco en una de las aperturas australianas. Vamos a ver hasta dónde llegan.
Obviously the Australians are still early days. They are one goal down and the play is underneath their sub bench. As you see, I think the Australians getting a couple of subs in, freshies off the sub bench. The Colombians still applying a fair bit of pressure as the referees call an infringement. Be interesting to see how this goes. And also interesting that first couple of minutes, the Australians were dictating the play a lot. And then the Colombians just sort of absorbed the attacking pressure. As you can see there, the referees are going to throw one of the Colombians out for a free arm by the looks of it and give the Australians the advantage puck. But as I was saying before, the Colombians managed to just absorb a lot of that attacking pressure that the Australians were applying and then counter-attack in a big way. And they look to have gone on the front foot again as we just tick over these first 5 minutes here, Omar.
Sí, vamos a ver cómo se desarrolla el partido. Las australianas comenzaron muy fuertes, pero las colombianas están poniendo ya mucha presión. Ahora salen por el centro, acompañándose mucho. El juego de ellas, que es jugar muy cercanas, y parece que están buscando el centro. Las australianas, por lo que las conozco, intentarán abrir el juego y que sea abriendo muchos cambios de banda, intentando abrir el disco, pero las colombianas conocen este tipo de juego y saben cómo contrarrestarlo. Vamos a ver cómo se desarrolla.
So you can see there the Colombians maintaining good possession for a while until the Australians got that puck back, and then straight away the Colombians retrieved that puck. And again, a little inside swerve move and straight onto that hard 45, met in the middle by an Australian competitor, and they drive straight down the middle, right onto the last line of the Colombian defence, maintain possession, pick another angle. It looks like the Aussies are actually applying a lot of positive attacking pressure at the moment as the Colombians desperately try and keep that puck out of their tray. It has gone all the way to the corner. The players are up on the surface. It does look like the Australians have put it in the bin, and the referees have confirmed that is a goal for Australia, Omar.
Gol de Australia, un drive de disco bastante fuerte por todo el centro. Las colombianas intentaron llevarlo hacia los lados, pero se estaban acompañando muy bien. Las australianas juegan con 3 delanteras. Una vez ponen el disco en el centro de la cancha, empiezan a empujarlo hacia el centro y es difícil salir de ahí. Vamos a ver cómo se desarrolla. Bueno, ya vamos minuto 8, todavía falta mucho partido, así que vamos a ver.
So off we go again, 1-1 now as we've said goodbye to the first half of this first half of a seriously competitive match here between Australian under-23 and Colombian under-23 women's. The Colombian team, remember, being the defending world champions, so the Australians would be very keen to get a game up on these guys. As you can see, a very nice, strong swim all the way into the corner there by the Colombian attacker as the Australians just sort of absorb a bit of attacking pressure and get that puck out along that side wall near their sub bench. You can see them trying to sub at the moment as again the Colombians push an attacking advantage all the way up to the tray. The Australians desperately trying to keep it out. It's unclear if they've actually managed to. And again, I think that it's been a goal. The puck is definitely in the tray, but the referees have said no goal. So unfortunately for Colombia there, the referees will have a timeout. We'll see what the referees have to say. They're a very competitive push there by Colombia, Omar.
Parece que el disco definitivamente entró en la portería, pero una de las referees no estaba contenta con lo que pasó. Vamos a ver si es falta o a ver si dan el gol o no. Las colombianas salieron muy fuerte en la salida, llegaron a la esquina con mucha potencia. Vamos a ver qué deciden los jueces, si dan el gol o no. Está siendo un partido muy interesante de ver, ya que pues, los dos estilos de juego son muy diferentes. Las colombianas juegan solamente con dos delanteras que se acompañan mucho. Por lo que veo, están intentando buscar el centro, acompañándose mucho con giros y rotando muy ordenadamente. Las australianas juegan con tres delanteros, intentan nadar más hacia el espacio y abrir el disco, aunque de momento no lo han logrado hacer porque las colombianas han logrado bloquear muy bien ese juego.
So the ref's taking a long time to sort out this conference they've got going on at the moment. Obviously, the Colombians did put the puck in the bin, or the puck in the goal, I should say. Initially, one of the refs was saying no goal, but they are having a good chat about it now as all the players are just sort of waiting to see what the referee's decision is going to be. They are having a proper chat about it, though, and we're going to have to wait and see what the chief ref decides. He gets the final say, and I'm trying to see what they've said. The Colombians are swimming back to their back wall. It looks to be like it's going to be a penalty goal. I'm not sure why the penalty was awarded, but anyway, the refs are describing the reason why to the Australians at the moment. So Colombia going 2-1 up against the Australian under-23s here, Omar.
Si dan el gol a Australia, parece por la seña que hace el referee, aparentemente fue un mal relevo de las australianas. Hubo ahí una pequeña confusión, pero al final dan el gol y una jugadora australiana un minuto fuera del agua.
So obviously the Australian defence just caught a little bit napping by a good amount of Colombian attacking pressure that's been applied in that passage of play there, Omar.
Yeah, they have been trying to swim a little bit into the space, but the Colombians are countering pretty well. And for what I can kind of see, they're just like trying to go through the middle and recycle the puck, and a lot of them in the bottom. So we'll see how it goes. It seems the Colombians are managing to counter the Aussie game.
Yeah, that's right. You can see there Hannah Robertisso, the coach of the under-23 Australian ladies, having a good chat with her girls, just trying to refocus them on the game plan, I'm sure, settle their nerves and get them concentrating on the basics. As I'm sure the Colombian coach, Felipe Diaz, the under-23 women's coach, would also be doing. Both teams looking very competitive and very capable in this first half of a very close competition there, Omar.
Sí, un partido muy parejo. Los dos equipos tienen su plan de juego bastante claro. Y bueno, ahora arranca el partido de nuevo. Sale la jugadora colombiana cerca de ganar el disco y sale Colombia por la banda en velocidad, pero el referee para por alguna falta o algo que no le convence.
A really nice run there by that wide right-hand side Colombian forward, or maybe it was the halfback on the overlap, but she hit that Australian lady hard, and unfortunately for her, the refs have called up an infringement against the Colombians. The Aussies will get the advantage puck as we see them take it and immediately move into the centre of the court, trying to sort of swing it around to the right-hand side. You can see the Colombians shift their structure and follow that puck all the way over to the far wall, bringing it back around and throwing a switch themselves, which was a very nice switch. Unfortunately, that Colombian sort of fullback or pivot straightened up and went through the centre channel. It has worked for them in this case, though, Omar, as they drive forward straight down the middle of the pool.
Sí, parece que iban a abrir el disco, pero deciden irse por el centro a última hora y les está funcionando. Las australianas ya las vi directamente nadando hacia la banda y ahora vienen por el centro, un ataque muy fuerte. Defiende la colombiana, se queda en apnea, muy larga la apnea, se acompañan y el disco lo defiende la australiana muy bien. Ahora salen hacia la esquina y defendieron el power play.
Yeah, I mean, the Colombians really attacking hard there on the right-hand side of their attacking tray. Australians desperately trying to keep that puck out, and they did succeed in bringing that puck out to the corner and consolidating possession. As you can see them trying to build some kind of driving move out of their back left-hand corner right underneath their sub-bench. You can see the kind of work rate that all of these girls are having to input into this game just to basically keep in the contest. A lot of good bottom position there by the Colombian ladies, waiting for that puck to come as the Australians desperately try and maintain possession and rock and roll that puck out as the Colombians regain possession and drive a strong 45 into the middle as the buzzer goes and the refs decide to call an advantage puck. Unfortunately for the Colombians, it's for Australia this time, and the Colombians will get pushed back and have to defend another Australian advantage puck there, Amar.
Detención ilegal contra las colombianas. Ahora van a salir las australianas. Parece que van a intentar abrir el disco. Lo hacen, pero las colombianas interceptan. La delantera toma el disco y, como lo están haciendo hasta ahora, hacia el centro. La lateral vuelve y recicla el disco hacia el centro. Ahora el juego se va un poco hacia la banda. Las defensoras australianas intentando buscar el muro más cercano. En este caso es el de los cambios. Obviamente les conviene estar cerca ahí a sus relevos para poder defender mejor el disco Stuart.
Yeah, the Aussie ladies having to do a lot of good defense to keep the Colombian girls from staying out of their goals. This time the refs have called another advantage puck for the Australians. It was for a free arm on the Colombians, so they will have to defend another advantage puck in a very similar position to where the Australians took it last time. It'll be interesting to see what the girls do here. Pretty similar kind of movement from the left over to the right, swinging it all the way over to the other side of the court. Tagged the whole time by the Colombians, and unfortunately for the Australians, they don't look to be able to generate a lot of play here at the moment, Amar, for a long period of time before the Colombians actually get that puck back. But they are going for a big drive down the right-hand side right now.
Sí, las australianas siguen intentando abrir el disco sin demasiado éxito. Cada vez que intentan abrir el disco hay una colombiana que para el cambio y recicla el disco hacia el centro, lo cual facilita el plan de juego de ellas. En este momento las australianas atacan muy fuerte por el centro, se acercan a la portería, pero la defensa logra ir hacia el lado y vuelve y la mete hacia el centro sin ningún tipo de temor. Ahora se escapa la delantera colombiana, va la australiana a la casa, pero ya está muy cerca de la portería y gol colombiano. Vamos a ver si el referee da el gol a Colombia. Parece que fue un gol muy limpio. Y efectivamente, gol colombiano. 3-1 el marcador. Primer tiempo, quedan 3 minutos, Stuart.
An amazing full court breakaway swim by that Colombian player there. I was just waiting to get the number, but an awesome swim, a really good goal, really put a lot of pressure on the Australian defence, caught them square and just had the speed and the lungs to make it all the way down the other side of the court. You could see when she put the puck in the goal, she was at least half a body length in front of anyone else in the pool. Only person that managed to keep up with her was the referee then. So the Colombian under-23 ladies go 3-1 up against the Australian under-23 ladies with just under 1 minute to go in this first half, Amar.
Yeah, impressive how the defender, we all thought they were going to defend on the wall, and she just curled, decided to flick to the center, and there was the forward who just made all the way through.
Yeah, you could see that forward, the Colombian forward that had that breakaway. She was basically just on the bottom waiting for that pass to come through. So as that flick went, she picked it up and really found a lot of space early. And as I said before, the Australian defence was just in the wrong position to cover her. They did not have the line between the puck and their defensive goal covered at all. And it turned into a big breakaway for Colombia. So with 9 seconds to go, this half is going to finish with the Colombians being 3 goals up to Australia only having 1 goal. And the Colombians take a good advantage going into this second half, Amar.
Sí, vamos a ver en la salida cómo salen las australianas. Van a intentar descontar antes de que se acabe el primer tiempo. Creo que es importante para ellas para que se vuelvan a meter en la competición. Las colombianas, vamos a ver si intentan ir por el cuarto gol o intentan defender estos 3 minutos el resultado. Por lo que vemos, el juego se va hacia el muro y parece que no están intentando ir hacia el centro, lo hacen en este momento y les está costando a las australianas defender ese estilo de juego y va Colombia hacia arriba atacando Stuart.
My apologies before. I actually thought that time for a half-time was about to finish, but we've still got 2.5 minutes in this half to play out as the referees call an infringement on the Colombians and give an advantage puck to the Australians. Right next to their sub-bench, the Aussies are getting a couple of fresh subs in there, obviously taking the opportunity while they can. It's going to be interesting to see what the Australian girls can do if they can use these last 2 minutes to their advantage, and hopefully for them anyway, they'll be able to peg back at least one more goal against this Colombian under-23 team, which at the moment is proving that they can soak up a lot of defensive pressure and then counter-attack very effectively against this Australian lineup here, Amar.
Sí, Colombia no tiene pinta de querer defender el resultado, ya solamente siguen atacando por el centro, de hecho se acercan a la portería en busca del cuarto gol y están bastante cerca. Vamos a ver si entra el disco, la defensora australiana logra sacarlo, siguen las colombianas en buenos números abajo en el fondo, vamos a ver si el disco logra entrar. Las colombianas siguen girándose y parece que entra el disco ahí, vamos a ver si lo logran dar y gol para Colombia. Piden tiempo, no lo han confirmado. Hay uno de los referees que no está muy contento con algo que pasó, a ver si una falta. Ahí van a tener una pequeña charla, a ver si dan el 4-1 a favor de Colombia, Stuart.
So yeah, Amar, the Colombian girls really putting on a lot of attacking pressure onto the Australian defence there, and the Aussies just desperately trying to keep that puck out. Obviously, the puck did end up in the goals, but the referees are having a ref's time out at the moment to discuss whether or not that is actually going to be counted as a goal. The Colombian ladies are pretty confident that they put that puck in the tray by their body language cleanly, but obviously you can never really count your chickens until the referees have confirmed one way or the other. But what I'm seeing at the moment is that the Colombian ladies are basically just able to cut down a lot of the lines the Australian girls are trying to swim and sort of recycle that puck through the defence of the Aussies, as the referees confirm that it's just going to be an advantage puck for the Colombian ladies with just over 1 minute to go in this first half, Amar.
No dan el gol para las colombianas, sin embargo tienen una falta enfrente de portería, se meten todas a buscar el gol, están todas enfrente de la portería, siguen empujando el disco debajo del cuerpo a ver si logran que una compañera logre capitalizar el gol, Stuart.
Yeah, so here we go with less than a minute remaining, and again the Colombians really pushing hard in the Australian defensive tray. Aussies are trying to drive that out to the far side of their court there, and I think they've managed to do that now, but they are under a lot of repetitive pressure by this Colombian under-23 lineup. As you can see, the players just sort of outside of that defensive corner on the far side of the court. The Aussies bouncing and rotating as best they can just to try and drive it out of there. They know the clock is running down and they're running out of time. I think the Colombians have actually managed to take the puck off the wall now, my apologies, the Australians have actually managed to swim that puck out a fair way as the Colombians try and recycle it through the middle. Aussies doing a good job of sort of tagging the puck as the Colombians bring it back. As the clock counts down and the buzzer goes, that's half time. 3 minutes of rest, both teams get to swap ends now, Amar, and a very good display by the Colombian under-23 ladies in that first half.
Sí, excelente partido hasta el momento, muy equilibrado, un poquito más de dominio por parte de las colombianas. Las australianas salieron muy fuerte al comienzo, pero las colombianas supieron empatar, supieron ir arriba al marcador y en este momento están dominando el partido claramente. Las australianas contaron con un poco de suerte y disciplina para lograr defender ese disco al final. Uno pensaría que iban a intentar las colombianas mantener un poco el resultado en el último par de minutos, pero salieron por el cuarto gol y estuvieron muy cerca de conseguirlo, Stuart.
Yeah, so you can see both teams there getting nice and close for the team chat from their coaches. I think both coaches and both teams realise that this game is still anyone's to win. Yes, 2 goals is going to be difficult for the Australians to peg back, but at the same time, we have seen it in many games before where one team has had the initiative in the first half and then the other team has the initiative in the second half. So while we've got a little bit of time, just looking at the chat on the live feed there, Carolina Sanchez-Jamo is saying Vamos Colombia a lot. So she's obviously tuning in probably from somewhere over on the South American continent. Lauren Colby is saying the Colombians have hearts like lions. Nice job, Colombia. Ana Lucia Guevara is putting out a lot of love there for her Colombian ladies. And Lauren Colby is also asking some questions about how good the under-23 Colombian ladies are going to be at next year's Elite Worlds in Canada, which is going to be in 3 meters. Everyone knows the Colombians have very good breath holds, having played in 3 meters in their local Medellin pool in Colombia. So we watch this clock tick down with just over a minute to go. We can see Hannah Robertisso having a good chat with the Aussies and getting them fired up as they do the Aussie chant. The Colombians are already back set up with 4 in the bin, and their coach Pipe Diaz just calmly sitting there as the ladies all line up. A very strong half by the Colombians. What do you think the Australians need to do in this second half here, Amar?
They probably will need to stick to their plan, maybe do it a little bit faster transitions and just try to swim into the space. The Colombians probably will keep trying to do the same plan. The game plan so far has been just recycling the puck through the middle, and it's working so far, putting a lot of pressure on the fullback and center. So you will need a very strong forward line, just stopping all those recycled pucks into the middle.
Yeah, that's right, mate. I agree. I think that the Australian ladies have been trying to find the space, but they're trying to find the space at the moment on angles off straight that are still going forward, and that's basically playing into the way that the Colombian ladies' structure is set up. I think the Aussies will need to come more lateral and possibly back out and around, maybe even zig and zag left and right on the court, and just try and open up the structure a bit of the Colombians before they try and execute any sort of forward attacking pressure. As we see the girls hit the strike at essentially the same time there. The puck goes over to the far side of the court. The Australian ladies initially establishing a bit of forward movement, but the Colombians have the puck now, and they are trying to drive it back out to this near side as the Aussies meet them in the middle. The Colombians again gaining possession, and it's a bit tit for tat there in the centre as the Aussies and Colombians all meet in the middle. There's a lot of rotating plays in there at the moment, Amar.
Sí, sale, el juego se mantiene en el centro, no se decide hacia ningún lado. En este momento las colombianas están en mejor posición del cuerpo, mejor posicionadas. Parece que logran hacer una pequeña descolgada hacia el lado izquierdo de la cancha, pero el plan parece que sigue siendo ir por el centro, y ahora logra filtrar un pase hacia el centro, hacia las delanteras. La defensora australiana logra parar el disco y parece que defendieron muy bien el power play. Ahora sigue atacando Australia. Vamos a ver si Colombia logra mantener el disco en el muro por un momento mientras se reorganizan Stuart.
A nice drive out of the right-hand side defense by the Aussies here. The referee have caught up in infringement, and we'll wait and see whose advantage puck it is. That one's going to Colombia for gloving by the Aussies. Interestingly enough, that outside forward of the Australian was driving a nice line on the wall under pressure, got curled off, and then the Australian support was just a little bit too far away to hit the other side of that curling Colombian ladies, and just allowing space in between the two Australians for her to just counteract any attacking drive that they'd already set up, as the Colombians take that advantage puck, look like they're about to drive left, and then basically try a little sneaky drop back underneath their body there, Amar.
Sí, pretenden como si fueran a abrir el disco y a última hora cambian de decisión, se giran y la meten hacia el centro, lo cual es un poco o bastante desconcertante para las australianas, y parece que les está costando parar esos, digamos que cambios falsos, ¿no? Les está costando el estilo de juego colombiano. Sin embargo, sigue siendo un partido bastante igualado en esta segunda parte de Stuart.
Yeah, so again the buzzer goes, and again in this first period of the second half, as we see the Colombians and the Australians just getting a couple of fresh players in the water. Really, no team is establishing their dominance on this game any more than the other at the moment. It is an Australian free puck, and you can see them taking that free puck and essentially just kind of going straight into the awaiting structure of the Colombians as they again regain possession and turn that puck out and try and drive out that far side of the court. Pretty successfully, I might add, as you can see them streaming down the court. The Australian defence rotating behind to try and get in behind that puck. Geez, this game is turning out to be very close between these two teams, Amar.
Sí, salen las colombianas de nuevo por el centro, la australiana intenta, vamos a ir hacia la banda, intentar abrir el juego un poco, pero parece que la delantera viene un poco tarde, va hacia los relevos, parece que físicamente ya no podía más y se releva, entra una delantera fresca, vamos a ver si la logran sacar, siguen atacando la banda. Siguen empujando por la banda, las colombianas siguen en buenos números por la banda defendiendo. Ahora la centro delantera intenta abrir, sin éxito. La defensa colombiana logra de nuevo meter el disco por el centro, defendida hacia la banda por la lateral izquierda australiana Stewart.
Yeah, so as you can see there again, there's a fierce competition going on in that court at the moment between these two well-matched teams. Obviously, the Colombian ladies are winning this match at the moment 3-1. 2 goals in front of the Australians as there's a big drive on the tray here by the Colombians. It's cut off by the Australian defenders and they switch it around to the near side court right underneath their sub bench. Good positioning from the Aussie girls at the moment as the Colombians stream over to try and close those gaps and stop the Australians from taking it down the court here. They do regain possession and switch it back around basically with a swim, trying to come back through the centre channel and immediately engaged by the Aussies there, Amar, as the Colombians try and drive through that centre channel.
Sí, las colombianas siguen con su plan intentando abrir el juego, pero no lo hacen del todo, vuelven hacia el centro y las australianas parece que están entendiendo un poquito mejor el modo de jugar de las colombianas, están logrando parar el tipo de juego un poquito mejor que lo hicieron en la primera parte. Vamos a ver cómo se desarrolla esta parte del juego, se va hacia la banda mucho el juego. Los dos equipos intentan abrir con más éxito de la colombiana, filtra un pase, vamos a ver si le llega a la otra delantera colombiana y parece que la defensora australiana logra defenderlo, no sigue la defensora colombiana por el centro, vamos a ver qué sucede. Stewart, están enfrente de la portería.
So the Colombians again putting a lot of attacking pressure on the Australians as the puck goes into the tray. You're going to see if the referees call this a goal. It did look like a clean goal to me as they confirmed that is a goal for number 10 for Colombia. So that is Estefania Betancourt scoring the Colombians' 4th goal with only 9 and a bit minutes remaining. The Colombians taking a commanding lead against the Australian under-23 ladies here with 3 goals up, 4-1. I mean, that was a lot of attacking pressure applied by the Colombians, and then essentially they looked like they were going to attack the centre channel. The Aussies met them there. The Colombians did a quick sort of reverse move out to their right and then basically just swam that puck straight into the tray there, Amar.
Sí, no pudieron aguantar la presión colombiana, haciendo diagonales hacia afuera y luego reciclándose el disco hacia adentro. Simplemente llega un punto en que los defensores no pueden aguantar tanta presión y si los delanteros no están ahí preparados para sacar el disco y resetearlo hacia los muros, es muy difícil parar esas arremetidas. Muy bien por las colombianas. Ahora salen las australianas atacando un poquito más en velocidad. Vamos a ver qué sucede, Stuart.
So you can see there the Australians sort of having possession as they tried to drive out to this near side court. They still had about a lane of court to use before they hit the wall, but decided to reverse curl and wait and pass the puck back into the middle. There was a whole bunch of Colombians waiting there as well as Australians, but it just wasn't a clear advantage to the Australian structure at all. So unfortunately the Aussie girls still not really moving that puck around enough to establish any kind of true advantage through their Australian structure at the moment. And the Colombians, in my opinion, are really asserting their dominance slowly but surely on this game. The Aussie girls are trying their hearts out, obviously, and credit to them for doing that. But at the moment, the Colombians leading this match 4-1 with only 7.5 minutes to go. You can see the Colombians sort of counter-attacking now after that initial Australian drive down that left-hand wall there, Amar.
Sí, poco a poco se ha ido consolidando el equipo colombiano. Está dominando más, las australianas no terminan de de manejar el juego y de aplicar del todo su plan de juego, que es abrir el disco y nadar hacia el espacio. Las colombianas están haciendo muy bien sus rotaciones, están muy aplicadas y sobre todo con muchos números en el fondo del agua, lo cual en una estructura tan separada como la es la estructura australiana, en donde se necesita pues mucho orden y hay muy bajito rango de error, muy poquito margen de error, y las colombianas están logrando imponer en este partido hasta el momento 4-1 y quedan 6 minutos y medio y defienden las australianas, las colombianas siguen presionando muchísimo a Stuart.
So you can see there as the Australians try and build another attacking move out of their defence from right underneath their sub bench. They are swimming it down the puck, but the Colombians have possession and they flick that puck wide, making that left-hand wing of the Australians chase them around to the side there. She is in a good position and she probably will cut down any kind of proper forward momentum the Colombians have. Mind you, as I say that, the Colombians again get a good run on down that right-hand wall and pushing that puck closer and closer to that deep defensive far corner of the Australians as they sort of try and recycle that puck off that wall. Kind of hard to tell. I think at the moment the Colombians have got clear possession. The Aussies sort of duck down there to again apply some defensive pressure to an attacking move by the Colombians. But you can see there the Colombians are really doing a good job at actually maintaining possession. They're sort of taking it to the breakdown, but not trying to push bad situations too quickly, choosing to maintain possession as they rock and roll through the Australian lineup, getting very close to the tray. The Aussies are desperately trying to defend as the Colombians, I think, have put the puck in again. The referees are signalling no goal there, Amar. We're going to have to wait and see what the referee's decision is.
Sí, parece que hubo una falta y no dan el gol a Colombia, pero definitivamente se está imponiendo ya Colombia. Físicamente y tácticamente no han logrado dar con la clave de las australianas. Le hace falta, a mi manera de ver, le hace falta más presión a la línea delantera de las australianas para lograr abrir ese disco una vez las colombianas empiezan a girarse por el centro. Están acompañándose muy cerquita y en el juego australiano ellas necesitan un poco de espacio para hacer sus tiros y nadar hacia los lados y nadar hacia el espacio, pero las colombianas están aprovechando muy bien ese espacio, se están metiendo entre líneas y no están dejando abrir el disco, todo lo contrario. Colombia está abriendo el disco, luego metiéndolo hacia el centro, lo cual está costando mucho a las australianas de parar, Stuart.
Yeah, so a timeout there for both teams. I'm pretty sure that was called by the Australians. As you can see, it's going to be an advantage puck for the Colombians here as they proceed down to the bottom and set up in a position where they're kind of got a pretty spread structure actually. They've got three players just sort of hanging back. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and push on the left-hand side, then roll it back around and throw it over to those players waiting on the right as they do exactly that and chase that puck straight down the middle channel with some good numbers on the bottom. The Australian ladies meet them there. It's going to be interesting to see if this set play works well as the Aussies defend it out to that far corner. A very sneaky set move there by the looks of it. As we can see, the Colombian number 12 just sort of loitering over near the corner of the tray there, waiting for her teammates to try and shovel her the puck. A lot of fierce defence going on by the Australians and a lot of very creative and positive attacking moves being generated by Colombia there, Amar.
Sí, mucha presión de las colombianas, ya se les ve un poquito mermadas a las australianas físicamente, aunque ahí tienen una pequeña salida y están aparentemente defendiendo un poco mejor en el muro, pero no logran salir de ahí con mucho éxito. Vamos a ver qué dice el referee. Parece que es una falta en contra de las colombianas, que les da un poquito de aire a las australianas para respirar. Se les ve en este momento un poquito cansadas, no está tantas jugadoras en el fondo y les da un poquito de respiro Stuart para ver si logran decide irse en kamikaze, como llamamos nosotros en Colombia, por enfrente de la portería a buscar los cambios. Parece que están cambiadas y deciden irse hacia los relevos para descansar un poco, Stuart.
Yeah, so as you could see there, the Australians had a free puck after that referee's infringement on the Colombians. They decided to take it right and throw a switch. They were tagged the whole way on that big swim over to the near side of the court by a fast Colombian forward. And then they brought it back in the middle. It was a nice move where they did start to open up the Colombian structure a little bit as the Australians get another advantage puck basically in the centre of the court there, and they'll set up to take this, pushing the Colombians back. It looks to me like one of the teams, the Colombians, might have called a team timeout. So both teams will have a minute's rest here for the coaches to be able to chat to their players. A lot of pressure still being applied by this Colombian team, which is 4-0 up against the Aussies. The Aussies doing a good job, but just not really able to string together enough attacking moves and put enough attacking pressure to really worry the Colombians in defence too much there, Amar.
Yeah, the Colombians are looking a little bit better physically, in more numbers at the moment. In the bottom, Australians look like they're struggling a little bit to keep up with the pressure, but they're managing to defend well the last minutes. But definitely Colombians putting a lot of pressure on the Australians. Let's see what happens. Do we have only 10 seconds left?
10 seconds in this
it's over.
timeout. Yeah, that's right. This is a timeout at the moment. So we've got 3 minutes left in this half. So 3 minutes left. The Australians are going to have to score a goal a minute to draw level with the Colombians, which is highly unlikely. But hey, never say never, as the Australians drive that puck over the right-hand side of the court, just outside of the camera at the moment. But you can see the Colombian structure sort of cruising over there to kind of try and counter-attack that attacking move by the Aussies as they take it all the way to the attacking corner. You can see those players locked in there on the wall, just trying to wait for one or two of their competitors to go up as the Colombians do a nice little defensive move there and gain a little bit of an advantage down the wall. They're right underneath the Colombian sub-bench. The referees have called up an infringement. It is going to be against the Colombians there, and the Australians will get an advantage puck in deep attack at the moment, Amar.
Sí, salen las australianas bastante decididas. Parece que yo pensé que ya estaba por acabarse el tiempo, pero de hecho quedan más de 2 minutos. Las australianas salen por un gol para ver si logran meterse en el partido, aunque es muy difícil ya que logren remontar este marcador. 3 goles de diferencia. Las colombianas logran defender el gol en la esquina. Salen las australianas, todavía se les ve bastante motivadas intentando un descuento que obviamente descontar el marcador así no haya posibilidad ya de ganar el partido motiva mucho de cara como a los siguientes partidos. Es importante para terminar anímicamente los partidos hacer goles y sentirse como que el equipo está funcionando, así no se logren ganar los partidos. Pero las colombianas están defendiendo muy 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 fuerte. De hecho salen acompañándose en números muy 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 bien. Sale hacia la banda, pero la colombiana logra tirar hacia el centro para reciclar el disco y vemos una falta en contra de Colombia, Stuart.
Yeah, that's right. The Colombians just getting an infringement called against them there, but basically after a lot of big drives coming out of defence, they had that puck in the defensive left-hand corner, and then with a lot of guts, just turned on a 45 and swam it on a 45 straight across into the centre channel, and it actually worked for them. They found their numbers, managed to drive that puck all the way out of defence into the mid-court area, getting an infringement with the advantage puck given to Australia. And you can see now the puck has gone to the far side of the court. With inside a minute to go in this game, it's basically going to be an impossibility now for Australia to come back. The Aussie girls will look to finish this game on a high note and try and get at least 1 or maybe even 2 goals in the tin before the time runs out. But you can see now the play has been taken over to the sub-bench area of the Colombian team. And I would not be surprised if the Colombian team see this game out with the last 35 seconds to go in their area of the court there, Amar.
Sí, las australianas intentando hacer otro gol que les deje mejor anímicamente, pero las colombianas siguen muy fuerte, muy inteligentemente llevaron el disco hacia los relevos y ahora salen en números con jugadoras muy frescas por todo el centro y parece que van a hacer el quinto gol y el gol entra. Vamos a ver si los referees lo dan. Parece que sí, y es un 5-1, perdón, definitivamente para las colombianas. Excelente partido de la selección Colombia sub-23, 5-1 para Australia. Yo encantado aquí de estar con Stuart comentando este partido, muy contento del triunfo de Colombia, excelente partido, al final pues lograron imponerse con un marcador con buena diferencia y dominando el partido. Muchas felicitaciones a las chicas, saludos a todos los amigos en Colombia, veo por ahí que está saludando Emanuel y Analu y bueno, a todos los amigos en Colombia, en Bogotá, en Copacabana y en Medellín. Un abrazo a todos, gracias Stuart por tenerme aquí, por la invitación y see you later, mate.
Thank you, Omar, and congratulations to the Colombian team. A very well-deserved victory there against the Australian under-23 women's. Basically, the Colombians proving too strong in that game, scoring a last minute, or basically in the last 10 seconds, their 5th goal against the Aussie girls. I know they won't be happy with that score, that result, and I'm sure Hannah Robertiso will take those girls back to the drawing board and learn from those lessons learned in this game and come back even stronger than before. As you can see, the girls shaking hands there in the court. We've only got 5.5 minutes to go here, so we may not have time to actually chat to the ladies' pool deck. But again, congratulations to the Colombian under-23 ladies in a very, basically a deserved win against the Aussie under-23s. World champions from 2 years ago, these Colombian under-23s, and they've just proven there that they are definitely a force to be reckoned with in this World Championships as well. So, as Omar said, it's a salute from me, and thank you for listening. It's 5 minutes until the next game kicks off. Congratulations and commiserations to the Aussie under-23 girls, and also congratulations to the Colombians on a well-deserved win. Cheers.